how you going?
Yeah.
But the friends out there will ask some more of you, hey?
You're very good here. Or a team of people wanted. They took a big risk here. Okay, so I see you holding out for eternal love as well.
Now, what a group does onto one person, a group of countries can do onto one country. Now, I have to do this because the other phone, this one here, got full. So I'm just loading it up and playing the rest of this one. I was hoping to get it all in one, but I guess we'll have two. All right, to get their outcome. These countries like China. China needs materials. How can we fix this? You get it, people? You get it, people? I hope you do. As they play their tests.
It's so crazy. It's like somebody seeing that you still.
What tests have we been played on our military? From who? What countries may use magic or energy? What's with the big aerial that goes worldwide? Could that big aerial tap into people like we tap into robots? Good countries make deals to use this big aerial. Australia wants more for less, not following rules. As countries want more countries to be like China, as the rich can thrive better. Where do the rich hang out the most? Why do the rich run off when you ask them to be righteous? Have a think about it, people. Who stops righteousness with money threats? When we ask the rich to do the wise thing, they have a bubble to run off to.
They want to know what time, what you doing with Lil Radisha. Not saying that it's wrong.
We see leaders evacuating from countries. Do you see signs? Their plans failed, but they are still trucking with this world plan.
Right, it's like I'm giving you child support, so I want more kind of energy.
Should you allow YouTube and people to talk about energies and how they can tap into it before you understand how they do it? We hear a lot that how is it done? They will do it after they got the domination of the market. It's business. Good luck out there.
But this is karma playing out. If this person did keep the end of the bargain, it's like somebody only wants you around so that they can attack you spiritually as well, okay, or just slander you. Alright.
Now that one is about if they did a spell and they needed to attach something to the spell word. So if this person pops all this, the world will pop it. That's what they're talking about there. So pretty much if you attack the next coming Jesus, you once again live in your sins, not heal them. As your world and history has shown, where was your sins removed? You remove your sins because you kill the thing that is making you feel bad, because you're evil. So you once again live in what you believe is right, but it's sin. You see? But anyway, twist those words any way you want, as that's what evil does. But I'm using science, fact, truth, things they like to teach in one bubble, but not really in another. But anyway, good luck. Debate me on that so I can find out what bubble you're in. Right?
This is not good news for them. They could have got a reading done and found out you got to gain some profit or you gain something.
Yeah, we're going to be 50 helicopters down.
But that's army justice for you to sleep good or be satisfied.
Because we're an army that's huge and we can afford to get rid of some. Isn't that right, Australia? For other people's wars. So that way when we have one, we're going to hope that they give back. That's what I do. I hope. But look where I am right now. That means you're in a dream world. Right? While you still supply, you'll be liked. When you can't, you're not too liked. You see? That's why I lost my license and I couldn't get around like everyone else does. I'm not too liked. You see? They use all the religion and all the ways to say why I'm not liked now. But it does not mean it's true. Right? But anyway, you just believe what you believe.
Okay, wanting to cause a natural disaster, cause homelessness for someone just because they're mad that you get victory and success.
That means this group's getting together to do something and then say someone else did it. Now, how are they going to do that when it comes to my store? Right, I've only been here, I haven't gotten nothing. Right? I've got nothing here when they come to do with spells. I've only listened to these people that love to talk about it. So I guess they'll be the ones setting me up, wouldn't it? Right? And then they talk the narcissist talk, where they believe they talk what they don't do, but they're actually doing it. But anyway, you just make your own decision out there. And I know who's in their bubble because they all act the same. Huh? There you go.
It's a regular day. I want to do this meme stuff to this person.
No. You know what I do when I wake up, man? I go, oh, let's wake up for another day, eh? See ya, hasn't killed me yet. We can make things better, but that's not the path. This is my path. I already know that goodness has failed. And we're about to go through another judgment, like we've always done. We're no different than yesterday, 2,000 years ago. Right? But we got toys because an alien crew turned up and we're great at copying and being slaves. We're not good at coming up with our own shit and changing ourselves. Unless we have the whip, as history shows. We did all great things with that whip, haven't we? And we still do, don't we? Because we don't know how to do it with love. We only know how to talk about it. That's why I go script readers. Because if they weren't real, there'll be a different world. You get it? There's all these divines. Why aren't they got together yet? I see the Pope running around. He thought it was the time to have another vacation and go get some selfies, make himself look good, talk about some stuff. But what does he really do? She's all doing something for him right now. Well, he's spending some money that you gave him worldwide. As they haven't got one company, their company is, can you please give God some money so I can run around? You know what I mean? But anyway, good luck out there. When you're real, I'll tell you you're real. That's me. When you do real actions, I'll tell you you're doing real actions. That's me. When you're fake, I'll tell you what you're doing. Isn't that what we're meant to do? You know why? Because no one's paying me not to do it. Right? No one's paying me to go, do our bubble. You know, we think like this. You better think like this. You might not get your pay. You know how bosses roll. Your car payments. Right? That's what you call lock yourself into the devil's contract. You got to make sure you don't do that. Don't get too big of a loan, because the bigger the loan you get, the more you're locking yourself into these devil contracts. You got car payments. You see? You better do. It takes away your freedom. And you go, shit. Fuck. I'll see if I can go get another job. But these job people all talk to each other at the pubs. Yeah, remember I mentioned, these employees, right? And then you have another trouble, getting the job. Because that's how they own your ass. It's always been done, like. When did this thing disappear and that went away? Maybe in a little bubble. But when has the world collectively got together? Not yet. They actually got an opportunity and have for a long time now, and they pretend to, but still haven't. There's not one country shows an example of the Bible, not close to it. In the Bible they have, they seem to twist it in all their sin ways. In a way they're right, but how do you move from that? Right? What do you call repenting from your sins? How do you start that? collectively. And what country can have that to happen? To use righteous words. Be righteous for real. To say to these rich, run off to your shit country because you don't want to do righteous ways. Run as far as you can. Dig that hole and live in it. And see how much money you get while we spread our righteousness. And become equal with pay all around the world. Every man does the same work, gets the same pay, unless they want to do a deal themselves. That's how money gets done. Everything's $30 that's made the same. If it's made the same, if the quality's different, the price should be different. Different metals, different price. The same product, no difference. Everyone's treated equal. They want to do a discount, they can do a discount to put some plug off some stuff. Discounts we use can only do every now and then to make sure people constantly are doing discounts to cause problems. It's pretty easy to fix things. You just think about it for a bit and keep the money out. Keep that arsehole, hey, I'm threatening, I'm going to kill you, you motherfucker. You talk about a threat again, being righteous, I'm going to lay all hell down on you. That's what you do to them. Donald Trump knows about that. Your best just to leave me alone. But if you don't, because you're so greedy, say all that, then you're going to get what I just said. Doesn't that sound righteous to the world? And I'm pretty sure they'll agree. No? That's how you start a war, Israel. And we go in with balls, mate. And we say there's a thing there, so here we come. And we go knocking on the door of the hospital and go, you get those innocent kids and children out, motherfucker, because we're going to lay oil down on this place. And if they don't come out, then you have now just shown the world that you want them to die. Not us. We're here to let them out right now. And then we're going to come in and we're going to face you. We're going to have the best shit ever. We're going to send some robots in first, motherfucker. We're going to test them with you. The drones and everything, they're going to swarm you like no tomorrow. And then we're going to come in and swing leftovers. And we might lose a couple of people because we got nuts. And we can talk about what we did for real. And a couple of people's worth it. And then when we walk out of the hospital, we know it's clear. We go, boom! There goes that place. They're not going to use it again. And you people are coming with us to that hospital shit. You get it? Now, your leader, people in Gaza, are wiping out all your resources. So you better stop. That's how you do it, Israel. Without showing any innocence. They will declare that they're not, you see. You don't have to just go, I've got intelligence, boom, there goes kid, boom, oh, sacrifice. You are doubtless to me. Now let me know who had more balls and who's doing it more righteous that God likes to see instead of a gutless cunt behind the keyboard and a button. Right? And be real. You represent him, don't you? Fuck no, not at this time. Come and challenge me, leader of Israel, with words. I'm happy to do it. In behalf of your God and mine. You ready? What's with the wall removed, Israel? What's with that? You're hiding something. Is that your God and the ways you're working now? Do you believe he's going to come down and do the same thing like you've written already in your books? Do you believe your God's a good one? What makes your God better than other gods? What makes them all not look real? Perhaps they're all real, but who's the best one? Perhaps the source is, which is just balanced that nature finds its way, spiritually and mentally and physically. Nature's quite amazing, because nature is the source, you see? And it's everywhere on every planet, including this little candy one. You are on candy camera, everybody. We're going to leave it there. As I apparently get too serious, and they might send an ambulance because they think I'm mental. How crazy is that? But it's the truth in some cases. So have a good one, everybody. And that's why I'll be closing down my channel. As if I'm not around to respond on it, they will do the disinfectant behind the scenes.
Laugh talk.
You see? Have a good one, and see you later. And if you can't back out what you do, don't do it. Don't do that. And have a good one.
They want to see you suffer.
You know? That's terrible.
They know how
Have a good one.
They knew you wasn't going to compromise with
They need to donate.
See, the thing is...
So I haven't set that up on my channel. It was just too much effort and problems. And my bank account's not working and shit. So I don't bother with all that. Anyway, have a good one.
I've reported
See you
for a while.
later.
Tell me that. You just
Alright.
keep repeating, eh?
Now we all know things get sorted in the end at court. So I just want to get rid of all the facades of what everyone's got to say. Like they say about chemists, how the chemists think they know, but they don't know anything. Right? It's the doctor, they prescribe something. Don't worry about what a chemist's got to say. Right? And I want to talk about when it comes to your rights at court in the end. Now, we know get you to watch these facade shows. They say it's meant to be close to the real thing, but it's like way off, as we like to keep you in facade. And I want to talk about your real rights when it comes to evidence. Now, unless you get someone with a badge on your side, that's the top evidence. Good lawyer, another top. When it comes to everything else, it's a he say, me say. What do I mean by that? I mean by anything can be tampered with. If we believe we've got something to say, we're going to say it. So if you change a clip, if you get a police officer to look into something and get them to cut out a sound to see if they can hear a sound from the original clip, that will be used in court as a police officer cannot be trusted as they're all corrupted. Everything's corrupted, everybody. Corruption everywhere. So if they say it was your blood, you can say no. It was not my blood, as that machine is corrupted. How do I believe that machine? How do I know that machine was not tampered with? How do we not know? You'll have to get a lawyer. And boys, guess what? We're going to make lawyers very expensive. Very expensive. $5,000 expensive just to say hello. What do you reckon? And we're going to make everyone get rich quicker and better. We're going to make us great again. Us, the ones in our team. You and my team. If you're in my team, the evidence is everything. But if you're not in my team, we'll do what he say. I was happy with. I don't care what you got to say. I'm not even going to take the next step. As I just told you, that was tampered with. Right? And you can write me a nasty letter telling me how tampered it was not. But I'm still going to say it was tampered with. As everything can be tampered with. We live in a society of confusion and lost. As we have so many bad guys and taking over all these areas that no one knows anything. And everything can be nothing and all tampered with. So there's nothing to trust unless you can get a dude unless you pay for their love, as their honor is dead. What are you going to get? You can't even get your family to look at what you want. They'd rather call you crazy before they look at all the evidence. What are you going to do, people? Perhaps we should clean this up with disinfectant. All those syringes. No, I did not say put a disinfectant in the syringe, okay? Perhaps I better give you that robot somatic so you don't get it wrong. What do you reckon, everybody? Good luck out there with what you think you know. Things change every day. That's the way it is in the land of confusion. And good luck. See you later. Another crazy thing people might think it's crazy.
It's been a while since I heard
But
that.
it will help. Is I'll say, bring all your rubbish in. And I mean material rubbish. Because I'll have plenty of people to go through it as people will be coming. And I'll go, here's a job. They have it already over in the third world countries. But I'm going to run it down. And I go, bring all your junkie, all your machinery. If you can't get it smoked, bring it up here. You don't have to go pay anybody. It's free. Just the cost to get it here is all I'll ask you to pay. And dump your materials. I'll have a list of what materials you can go and dump. And I'll have people go through these materials and recycle and use these materials. And perhaps over time, we'll even come and talk about your company and things like that, try to help you out. So you'll get rid of your rubbish, hopefully at a cheap cost, and you'll get promoted. Pretty cool, right? What do they tell us if you rush into things? Definitely if you rush into things important. What usually happens? Why do they tell us not to rush into certain things? Because you might get what outcome.
I want to see this resolved quickly.
Not to see it resolve quickly. Perhaps you might get elbows.
Oh, try resolving things for
I don't
years.
want to see them kissing goblins, appreciating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see them kissing goblins, succubus with goblins, appreciating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see them kissing goblins.
Read through what you're saying.
Elm Bakery. The post is 23 hours ago. These charming young men decided to break into our bakery in Howlong Post Office at 11:36 p.m. Unfortunately, they don't share a brain cell between them and got caught by our bakers and our cameras. But the lack of police presence around our region means they got away. Please share so we can identify them. And then 15 hours ago, there's 4 photos. Howlong Bakery posted, if you see these two about, offer them a change of pants. Particularly the one who was crying and saying sorry. Not so tough when you get caught midway through our break and enter.
So 5 teenagers, one.
I saw it in the comments. Let me read the comments again.
Definitely when you're in the wrong. Now there's emotions being treated wrong. Then there's emotions of a pussy, right? Who has no reasons to be treated wrong, right? They're being treated what they've been
Look at
doing.
that. Police didn't arrive until 11
But when the cops
a.m.
pulled me out,
yesterday.
and I got a bit upset in certain areas, you know what
This
I'm saying?
happened.
I had a reason for
Yeah,
it.
night time. And they didn't even
If you're a
attend.
bad person
Yeah.
and you get pulled
There
out
were
and
2
do
minutes
that,
to send
you look
anyone
more
out of
stupid,
town,
you know what I mean?
someone said.
There must be some noise complaints to deal with. Because I still be called about actually someone being physically violent kind of thing, besides yelling. And aggressive, best way to say it. Someone being aggressive to you is not as bad as noise complaint, because then the same people who've been aggressive got noise complaint done on me. How weird is that? We're outside.
A lot of issues out in the world today, isn't it? They seem to be getting worse, I think.
There's someone being aggressive, going off their head about noise.
It's an up and down thing sometimes.
You always have to be nice.
It's been worse before, so
That kind of stuff.
I guess it's an up and
Call
down
the
story.
police about it. 'Cause
We're heading the upper
come
at the
over
moment.
and keep being aggressive. And then next minute the police turn up for the noise complaint. And it's just me doing what I've always done, had a bit of music going, and the equipment's noisier than the music.
Yeah,
So the music's not that loud, you know what I mean?
it's a pity that we didn't get this up and down and all these
Someone wrote,
problems
how
and
did they get
crime.
away then? And Howard Baker said, was
So much
5
more
or
could have
up.
been done.
Had one of the bakers had one pinned down and the others came in and started
stuff
throwing
is
rocks at his head.
Waste his time. For what?
You know he likes throwing rocks, eh? Got old ladies throwing rocks too. They just accuse things that are not even true.
I prefer my channel
And they don't care when you tell them that
that.
too. That's crazy. Back at this clip. So like, you know, you sort of care about it, and you want to say, no, we don't want to see it.
Stuff like that.
Still won't let me.
We don't talk about bullies and shit
They
too.
definitely know what they're doing, no?
We've done a little bit about it.
Yeah, I just
We say local. Local these days. Oh, after.
That's great. When Trump's in town, you will get it. And I want to talk about these comments. With voice. Down and this frown.
Another great American tragedy. Something I've seen as a physician at bedside.
Goes up. This guy with a concussion.
Where's everyone else? Just off a couple of things.
Straight out. Alright, they identified the vendors and the baker has this to say.
How Long's Bakery said, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to our local community and surrounding areas for the exceptional support. Thanks to the information provided by the community, we were able to identify the offenders before the police arrived. We can only hope that justice will be served to the dozens of businesses targeted by these young people in recent weeks. And they will be back to usual operating at times tomorrow. We hope to see you all for coffee and cake.
Gets his business going again.
And there's two.
In fact, that should help his business.
There's two photos, if you want to.
Because he stuck up for it. So in a way, the police not doing their job helps in another good way to make them look good. That's what I've got to say. Trying to make it positive. Where if the community didn't do nothing, it just makes him look bad, and people might not go there because nothing's happening. So they would go, what happens if Sean's gay? What happens, and that can become bad. So it's good that you get a good outcome.
That's two photos.
Some photos of the people. And where's the comments for these things? Show some comments. They're pretty funny, actually. Typical of people speaking when it comes to certain areas.
There's another photo. I'll show you the comment.
They're like little videos.
You can't click on them. They're just screenshots of video. And the comments to the posts of them saying, has anyone seen the police? ? Still waiting for them to attend an aggravated break and enter for last night.
Yeah, I'm going to show them. You don't have to read all.
I'm just reading I'm about to show you the comments. I was just reading what How Long Bakery said.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were starting to read the comments. I'm sorry.
I bet what people think of the police. Pretty much.
And you know why they get such opinions?
Because they're local.
Because the police care to people. Customer service. Poor customer service. Because when you get poor customer service at a business, what do people talk about? Similar things to this about the business? Yeah. Have a good one. See you later. Unfortunately, I'm going to come back on this again.
What, you're taking me away now? Yes, you are arrested. You're going to Harrogate, unfortunately. You're taking me to Harrogate in the middle of the night over a tweet? I am, unfortunately. Is this what you signed up the police to do? This is my role. I'm trying to be reasonable with you. The video has been seen over 3.4 million times on X alone. North said
Unfortunately,
solitary confinement and interviewed at the police station. He said that's when he was first told the arrest was over an anti-Hamas meme. In Britain, Hamas is a proscribed terrorist organisation. I just could not believe that they were arresting me for that.
it's an excuse, unfortunately.
A man was arrested on suspicion of publishing or distributing written material intended to stir up racial hatred, and has been released on bail while inquiries continue. But North claims the arrest was an exercise to scare the public into being politically correct online. This whole episode was an exercise in terrorising me. They're doing this to a lot of people. And
unfortunately,
the intent is to intimidate a lot of mid-ranking influencers to get other people to self-censor. That's what I think.
Unfortunately.
Richard North also
sounds pretty familiar, doesn't it, people?
So British police have codes.
And why are they doing all that? Unfortunately, Hitler's in town.
Objective observer looking at those
And they go, you don't know who I am. I'll shoot you with a killing you. You've been saying that for a while. Oh, wait, here comes your crew.
He said there were other alternatives.
Shit.
The police should pursue.
You're looking back, you're looking far back. The littlest things. What are you here for now? You heard about that I'm getting happy, I might be getting progress. You want some more taxes? Not suffering hard enough? Unfortunately. Full of shit, unfortunately.
Though Pete North disagrees with Starmer's claim.
Yeah, because there's a lot of propaganda, unfortunately. Yeah. And unfortunately they can. Why is that? Why is that? Oh, they don't know. Unfortunately.
Just days before Christmas, he said the stress will hang over his head.
I guess only Jesus type of people can see. Unfortunately. See you later. Well, it's sad to see that we're still getting the sad stories, but we'll fight the good fight, and we'll fight what I believe is righteous when it comes to copyrights and stuff like that. So I just mentioned about, and how we can find out where is which. With the average folk, we don't need to research every single song, and you just don't make it easy to find out. You don't have a site that just goes, these are the songs, this is it. You don't have a flag thing. Or anything like that, where you can at least flag us back when you go copyright. Right? There's nothing righteous, so I want to stay here and debate until I get that area righteous into a balanced state at least, right? When it comes to copyright, hey people, till then I've got to do a little bit more work. It's work, isn't it? Hopefully you can get paid sooner or later for works that you do. And you don't have people that want to steal your shit unrighteously, and copyright's a good thing to have. I'll be talking about it and be using it later too. But you got to do it the righteous way, innit? And how much do they need a copyright and so on. And how much people use in their life, and are they making it for money? Are they doing it righteously? Right? Can copyright donate? They make a lot of money, don't they? Things like that we can go on. Instead of just accepting and going, it's the law! And let them run around with a complicated confusion thing and no other debate about it when it comes to these areas they have. Right? And that's how they suck you in. They say, I'm so complicated. You bought out and I'm saying, I'm the man, I've got a badge. Right? But it's not true. Right? So anyway, look at that. We got a short. That's right. Now, what did I say earlier, Emma? I have to sit there that long. About copyrights. Got things to do. There's some things you go, down with it. That's okay. Got a bit on this one, which I'll move the files. I want to find it. In a way, it is. There. You want to go spiritual. So I'll go for it now. I'll talk about more later. You don't understand. So hopefully Shalada comes back too. I'm hoping. I don't know if she's ready or not in some area for her to fly around, but it is what it is, and attacks happen in certain areas, mistakes happen, and all that kind of stuff. That leads up to an incident, isn't it? When it comes to things that you think is bad, sometimes things can be good. But anyway, enough of Shalada today. And so I'm about to go over this one here, and the list is that I'm going to stick to soon. Get to it. Killings. Rebel News. Right? That's what I've been working on lately. I'll see you later. Now I want to talk about the rule of law. Right? Rule of law. In fact, I believe that's the devil's favourite thing. Words are powerful, get you to believe things, to get the education to be a certain way. All countries do it. Right? It's a little bit like the religion thing. If you grow up with religion, it takes years to get over it, right? That's how seeped in. It's like a habit. It's a rule of habit. You might as well say their law is. And the sad thing about it, when it comes to righteousness in the Bible and how he explains love and all that shit, how it wins, they have never even got one country yet, as I've talked about. Right? This is why I laugh and I go, as soon as I won't even listen to it, it's going, I wouldn't even sit at their meetings because I already know what they got to say. Shit, it might be 5 minutes, something different kind of thing. Maybe a little bit of a change. You can let me know about that later, what was different. But other than that, I wouldn't hang around their meetings or even worry about anything they got to say because religion is business, and that's a failure, and it's bound to failure. It's bound to have a bad history into the future. I don't want that story. I don't want to be involved in it. As I hook to the righteous side, I believe that doing nice and having a balance is better than just business and you be okay in your bubble. But in the end, and these people go, but I'll do it for my kids. But that scheme, in the end, destroys your kid's future. And you just go, let's be happy now while we're here. And we can say, look, we're the best. That's what business is. That's what the human history's done. That's their laws. And they've tweaked it over time. And as they tweak, we go backwards. You ever heard of us go backwards? Some people have to restart, lose everything, their home, everything. That's humans. Humans collectively, the history shows it, they're wasting their time right now because they haven't got the basics done. Like a parent saying to the kids, look, you're looking good now, you overspend now, you've got credit now, you better hope this doesn't happen. But it won't happen. You'll lose your job and you're going to lose everything. And that's the system. Lose your system, you lose everything. People can only be pushed so far and shit like that, and you're pushing people, it's bound to break down. Then you have the other things. So if you have that, it's bad enough. It'll collapse by itself. But if you bring in other things to attack it, that can make it collapse quicker. Which is what it shows in human history. Holy fucking shit. Right? And so when it comes to these people who speak fucking law, there is no righteous law except the Bible, and no country can stick to it. They can't even fucking translate it. They've got all these different translations out there. It's pretty fucking sad. Until they can get that righteous law to be righteous with the science they know and be it, and they can't because they argue for how many years in politicians, because they don't even have enough time to finish the speech and they got other shit to go, you know what I mean? They haven't got the basics. Where you need to speak, you should speak all the time you want. Right? They've got a system where you can't. They've made a system that I've already believed and calculated. The anatomy is not a good one. And it's getting deeper into their anatomy path. If you check it out, this will happen next, this will happen next. And it is fucking amazing. Right? So they're using right now what I call, because it's not righteous and it's not to the standard yet, and it's a system that's going to collapse, they're telling you, the devil is telling you that it's the law. Right? Now, guess what else has the law? Fucking ants outside. They've got a law. Right? North Korea has a law. Do you get that law, that word, means nothing in the end unless it's righteous? And righteous means it will work machine over and over and over and over and over again. You're going to get that. But your system hasn't even got there yet. It's only a machine to 10%ers for the hungry, for the rich. Always been like that. Every time it collapses, they come back in because they've got all the tools because of the previous system. So only you guys could wake up collectively and see that because it's so big and so spread out and so corrupted that you can't. Right? You have to start off with one bubble and spread it. In history, it's never succeeded. The Romans got so far and all these things, they've never succeeded because they haven't got righteous. And I believe if you have this path where plenty of plenty, forgiveness, learning, right, don't judge everyone, they're sinners, and all, but there's a path where I believe it couldn't create heaven on it. The Bible talks about it, but yet we can't get to the basics. In fact, we're constantly going around and around. Right now we're losing freedom. Then we've got war for it. It's the devil. We've got war for it again. Because you's all about business, which is the devil. Because business helps someone who creates it, right? The one fella, the big man, isn't it? Right? It's not a balanced thing. And then if all of them become powerful, which they have been for 50 years, means the rich, super rich, have got all the money, not the governments. And then they got to pay them, and they put in the bit, they take it. It's getting further and further, right? And then you get these leaders that go, it's just this, it's just that, and they believe that their rules are right, and they're not. To calculate that shit, they should start doing it into a computer algorithm that will see their shit collapse instead of looking at the weather with it. Right? About the weather and themselves, and then they should show their real answers of them. Right? Well, how far things go, you'll even see how far they can push you. They probably use it to push you. Right? Sad, isn't it? That we've got all the answers, but it's held back by just a few. And you all get answers and problems out there because of just a few, like we're losing the knives here and stuff. You get it? You get it? Because your rules are wrong. The basic shit is wrong. And you're telling people to listen to the law, but it's wrong. Why do you think they're upset? But you come in like a Hitler, like all history does, and goes, it's this way. I've got all the tools and I'm going to make it that way. When are we going to have a righteous country come in not like a Hitler, right? Don't even have to have all the tools. We keep telling them it's not about how much you got, it's how you fucking use it, isn't it? Right? Like why we were tough back in World War II and now we don't even have that. Look at us. We can't even have fucking knives, us Australians. How tough are we? You get it? If some person told me he's a warrior, oh, well, let's get Australians in, I'll laugh. You go, you're kidding me, right? They're not even allowed to have knives. What kind of army would they be? Do you get that? They're an army that will get crushed. I would love to come in and crush them because they're pansies. They probably have no knife experience now, right? Worse than the last time. What a bunch of it. They've got no gun experience, except the ones that are trained, because that country has the same amount, and they've got the people. That one's better. America, of course, you get it? That's what I keep talking about. America's a little closer to the righteousness in certain areas, but they're not in the other, opposite the other, which is the sad thing. Right? So when I hear this dickhead here, sorry I call him that, but to me, they're a dickhead. A dickhead's a dude that just doesn't see the point. Dickhead. Right? And you think you're all that. You're a dickhead. Right? There's plenty of them around me. Going, oh, you want me to answer questions? Fuck no. I never asked anyone to answer questions. I'm trying to educate you, you dickhead. All you do is twist shit. Look at you. You're doing what I used to do. And what'd you do to me? And all I did was show you how to be a man, and you shitted on me. I guess that's what you did to Jesus. You get it? You people are God's fucking virus, man.
What do you
They
reckon
probably
of that
left a
tone?
long time ago and go, shit, hopefully they'll kill themselves and I'll come back. Fuck.
Serious?
That could be a righteous way. You get how you can twist all these words, you go, this could work really. But really, in the end, just fucking grow a brain.
Because
Here's the education. 2,000 years later and what? You're repeating? What the fuck? Because of what? Because you get this dickhead that likes to get the book, right? Like in that show, fucking, what's it called? I forget the name of it. Book of Eli, isn't it?
Get the point across, but
that's
not
all
too,
you people out there in groups. That motherfucker.
aggressive. You
To take it from the one that's meant to spread it like Jesus was. You get it? You just don't stop. And you know who you are, and then you block the truth, and then you deny it to your sheep. So it doesn't stop. You see? Isn't that sad? So you hear bullshit like this North Korea dickhead uses to shame, crack and crap. And what's that? They program you like religion people do and other cults do by saying that the law is God.
Now, when I
the
say
law
religion,
is not
doesn't mean it's all religion, but because there's bad in religion and bad religion groups, right? Well, they get judged, don't they? Why is Gaza getting judged? The same way I've been speaking. Why do we judge like that? Why do people assume that when we judge, then I'm talking about religion, that it's all religion? I'm judging the religion and they know who they are by the points I'm judging on. Huh? If you're not them, then don't worry about it.
God. The law will always change, and there's priorities, a basic law, which is what some countries would call the top 10 list
So what does a
of
parent
their
sound like
rules
when they
that
get
can't
frustrated?
change. Right? Constitution.
Do they get a
The
little different?
Constitution needs to be updated sometimes, which I've talked about, as things change. Right? But you do it, and there's a big group, and you do it right, and you do it with science and shit like that. Right? And you upgrade your constitution. And then all the other laws, well, they upgrade and change all the time as time changes. As people become different. As they become better, you have less laws. As they become more pansies and fucking assholes, you have more laws. And what do we see today? What do we see today? everywhere around the country. We're seeing failure, and then we hear these bubbles going, oh, it's so fucking great. Bubblehead. You know what I mean? Because all we see is failure. And these people in their bubbles think it's great. They've got good jobs and shit. Good for them, but they're a bubble.
And I've been there.
Don't ever start saying we're succeeding unless half the world is successful. That's what
So I
they
know
would
the
say,
feeling.
isn't it, when they go to elect a dickhead leader.
It's good to be in the feeling.
Half
How
the
long are
world's
you
not
there for? Mate?
successful.
That's the problem.
They're struggling. The good countries now are struggling, so you can imagine what the other ones are.
The leaders
They're in
and certain
war.
people shouldn't be in
Because
these
of
bubbles.
what? Because of the policies and the rip-off. And this dickhead, which is I'm about to play now, likes to program you, and that's how North Korea did it too, by using the devil's word. And it'll always be there until they finally get it right, which is the law. Right? In Star Trek, it works for them. They've got a law, right? But they erred to that spot where it was right, and so did all the other ones. But Star Trek Voyagers was the best. You get it? Where's our best? And that's onto the words that I'm trying to say to go, and then they call it a fucking fantasy. Holy shit! No wonder you're doomed. So have a listen to this dickhead, and he's programming you to understand the law. And then once he gets that, guess what else he can do? Because it's the devil. Now, this is the law. Now, this is the law. Now, this. Get it? That's so easy. It's easy, too. So that means put me in. You're a law-abiding citizen? Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. Alcohol. Bad. Boom. All those people are competent, even if it's your dad and your mum. You
Give it
better
back what
fucking
they
say
give us.
sorry, okay? It's the
And just go,
law.
it's the law.
You're wrong now, motherfucker. Go to jail. Boom. Next one. Are you a law-abiding citizen? Because if you are, well, you know what that actually means now.
You twist
Definitely
their
that's
own
how.
laws.
You're a fucking coward, shit
Yeah.
piece of crap, and you
And
need
they're the
someone.
biggest cowards and the biggest
Shit.
whingers in the
And you'll hand over and kill anything, like
Fucking
what
lefties.
Jesus said to do in the Bible. So I guess you're working for the devil now. You're not you anymore. You've lost your freedom. But your Bibles, you're contradicting yourself. Constantly, everywhere, aren't you? How could you live a Bible when it's the law? I guess the Bible now is a fucking fantasy to get donations. Isn't it amazing?
There's a lot of
Because
corrupted
they can't even
religions
live
that
on
do
that. You hear politicians go, oh, the Bible's the thing. But it's not. It's
As
a
they talk
business
about.
promotion.
In a story about
Sounds good.
what Bill
You get
Fry
it?
told me.
Now
Back
listen
in
to
the day
this,
when I was a kid.
dickhead. What I mean by the law once they programmed you. Bang!
Well, you can even ask my sister, Bindi, I think,
They answer.
talked about it.
Of all the agencies underneath.
Yeah, the ant has a law, and it's actually a righteous one. Means they've made it so they live. They've gotten through. And in that era, in their evolution, they've probably got the heaven law. Means they do quite well as ants on this planet, don't they? They fry better than us. You get that, motherfuckers? So that means their law at that time is right. See how God has the animals in the right law? Do you see that? Do you understand that? That the animals have the basic righteous law, which I've talked about in clips before, more than us.
Yep, get what you
We're
need.
actually more fucked. Right?
Expand
Ritual
yourself.
pleasure, we have all these
Do the
sins.
best of what you know.
Right? Animals don't go that far. A lion could sit there and go, yeah, I know there's all this prey around, but I
Use
only kill
all
one
the
I
best
need
of
to
your
eat.
abilities.
And they get a nice balance. He doesn't sit there and go, shit, I can kill that cunt right now. Actually, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to throw it over to my mate over there. He doesn't go near and go, no, they're all individuals. They do their own thing. They've actually got more of the basics, more than what we have. We've never got there right. We get it and then we lose it. We get it. The animals, we call it instinct to them. Where's our instinct to be the fucking devil, mate? Selfish creatures. What a great instinct, isn't it? If it's there, let's grab it. One's like, fuck them all. Let's go, kill them all now. Right. But it doesn't want it. Why is that? Just think about it. But anyway, let's jump this dickhead on.
It could be.
Trying to get that little key point, because we all get educated, and I understand that thing, where you go, fuck, I get it, man. You put I fucking get it. Right? I'm not propaganda going, it's the law, you know the law, you know the law. Okay, now it's this. Fucking program robots, really easy. We're not meant to be that.
But
We're meant to own them, not be them. Isn't that right?
if you took an oath of office to
Hear this.
defend the Constitution of the United States,
Program.
you have to accept the norms. You cannot let this stand.
What happens if you get that program and it's not right? Could you get what I just told you? Now, here comes the next one. Load them in. Yeah.
Russia hoax.
Because you've lost what righteousness is. Once you've lost that and you don't care,
How are we going to get in there?
just load them in.
We label it law.
They had no honour.
It's not labelled righteous.
They just got law,
It's this,
money.
it's that. To get that law.
I guess that's the honour.
Got the law now?
That
Yep.
means you can just do that then. Right?
Like a fucking robot. That's how your robots can just smash another robot.
These
Yeah.
robots don't have any of all that either. And heart and all that. That's what they say in movies.
Now I want to call this
You can
realistic
turn yourself into one.
speaking. Something round, something long, something on the internet. But you know what you guys
Collectively,
call it
like
out there? Something to attack, something to bully, something to feed off, eh? Most of you. Don't worry, I've already got the locals already showing me that in comments. Check out the comments and shit. What I speak has studied to it, right? What you speak has the word law to it. Does that mean
Comments have
study?
less bullies
Fuck
in
no.
it than back
You
in the
see?
day.
Definitely
The
these
first
days.
account got cancelled.
Now let's continue with this guy. Hey, you reckon you can get in trouble for voice and having your opinion? And these days, apparently you can. It's just my opinion. I'm just a little dude. Maybe you're a big dude. Maybe. I'm just a little dude. Just voicing my opinion. And if you got into trouble for that, that's not freedom. You've lost your freedom. I've lost my freedom because I called this guy a dickhead. And in my opinion, he's a dickhead. He wants to know the truth from my
When my
opinion.
first account
I just
got
told him.
cancelled.
But then they go, no, you can't do that. This is the law. Now you're in
Just
trouble.
before it did, I went to the police station and talked
And
about
behind the scenes, you can.
threats and stuff like that. It was around that time.
Right? Why is the truth always
Pretty sure
behind
it's
the
just before I got
scenes?
cancelled.
You know what I mean? I guess that's part of the devil's system.
Or just
Because
after
if
something.
you want that system, that's a good thing. See, if you always go, why is that over here? You got to get the answer. And then guess what the answers are? When you go, it's a good thing for the devil. Oh, I see now. It works out here. Loopholes. Oh, they're there because he needs it every now and then to blackmail
And I
and make sure
didn't
people
do videos
so we can
much on the
blackmail.
channel.
You'll leave it around. Get it? Oh, that's why it
As
says
much as
10 years later. It was an accident.
It was
But
more
I'll
just,
blackmail all these
you know,
guys. They all trapped
putting
out.
up
Could
the
have
things
fixed
about
it.
other people.
You get it?
But
That's
I
just
find
one little trick.
But then
Of
it
many
was
tricks you
used
can do with
against
that
me.
one thing. And that's that.
Ah,
And to get people to do the tricks even easier, you get them busier. You get them panicking. You make them hungry. We're in a society we shouldn't even go on hungry. So much machinery anyway, but you got that bubble say, I own this and this, no real connection. And what do you get? Because your system is showing you. And you got to constantly get it because your system is a failure.
Are you able to forecast for us potentially what possible defenses might come with legal?
Forecast. What is history? It's a fucking forecast. Don't worry about keep looking in the... So first you got to learn from history so you can perhaps forecast better. But if you don't learn, you know your people are repeating that previous history. You know what you can forecast? We're about the same, so I'm going to forecast this. But you always have people in dreamland going, no, it's going to be this, this, and this, and this. But you haven't changed the basic priorities, what you've always had back here, so your forecast is really back there. Do you get it? Because we haven't improved it for 10 years, 20 years collectively, too.
too far run ahead.
Basics right, and we can stabilise that
And
market.
then causing too many problems.
Third and all the priority is. Huh?
A little bit like what's happening
But
with
you
the
don't.
police. How they build up cases.
How much can I take? I'll go down, all right, be nice guy. I can be
They
nice.
can fix the system. They
Right?
can slow down the cases. Slow down the
He's make
cases.
money, and then he's
bring
like,
up the numbers a little bit.
and
They
then
can
you
clear
ever
the
see that
cases.
dog
There's
goes
ways of
through
fixing things, but they
that?
can't
And
when
then
they're in
it's
a
like,
certain
I
area.
could be nice. Right, it's fucking funny. That's your market system. That's the rich people sucking you dry. Now get in there. It's a little bit like religion. That's their donations. They go, oh no, you're going to be rich. You're going to be rich. And then they're rich. That's a little bit like religion. Religion's like, oh, they do all these, and yet you know individually it doesn't work unless you want it to work together. All right, you work together, you can make it work. But other than that, it's pretty much you're feeding that. It's the same similar system. That's why if you look into the future, they're still wanting to be fed. They can't even look after themselves. In fact, if you don't feed that system, it collapses. They shut down. You see, because all it does is feed.
And it's giving you, it's a smart ass, it's giving you wisdom, so it feeds. That's where it's getting its money from, trick. Huh? And it tells you that everything's going to be better even itself, but it can't even prove it to itself by showing that it can sustain itself with its wisdom that it shows. So it shows you that they can give you wisdom, that they use themselves to make money so you can make money. But they tell you to get your shit together, you make money, and then give it to God because they gave you the wisdom. It's like the devil going, you do my work for me. Right? Yeah, let's track along this guy for a minute, and then I'll leave it there. Sort out the plan for the J. I'll even chuck this one up, eh? A lot of these babes I put on private because, like I said, a lot of people don't understand. Huh? And you know what they'll understand? They'll understand all the little individual attacks. So a robot will go, look, he's attacking the law. Right? Yeah, so, look, he's attacking religion. No, I'm not. I'm not attacking at all. I'm speaking truth. In fact, it's sad that it's not succeeding. I want to succeed it, but it would rather take it from me. Right? And if I believe that it's that, then I'm going to have to slow down, and then it won't. That's what I was just talking about with the churches, how they get it, they take too much, and then people realise, what the fuck? Right? Because it's a collapse. It's not a system that really works. Really, a system really works should help to sustain and look after itself. That's what our parents say to us as an individual. Huh? That you should get off my parents' titty. To the basics. But you're just in case. Huh? But really. Huh?
Authorized anybody in media.
And then when it comes to all the miracles and all these things, they're all got twisted, fucked up the ass and turned into business, or it's nothing. Because once it turns into business, they either take the miracle or they shit on it. Huh? So they all should be seen. Everything should be spoken. But when businesses around, you don't get that. Why? Because it's competition. It's business! That's why I said, in the end, the inedible business is to suck this planet dry, and that's why they're looking for another one, the devil already. You get it? That's just the outcome. It's like, shit, get sucked dry, shit, oh, then I have to try to quickly get this next ship to get to the next spot. I'm like, shit, I'm going to die. Because all I do is suck dry. I don't know that balance. I don't like that balance. I just like to take it easy. And then my people like to be like me, so they're like takers, and our takers become a big group. We've got millions of these takers at the moment. 10% or 1% is millions. Numbers. Huh? What happens with that? And the others not caring, eventually the takers win. This is what you see.
They counters that. So their intent is problematic.
And there's no one righteous country for anyone to do anything about it unless we change ourselves. We're actually in our own state of the inedible, which is not good, our history says. We're more likely going to blow ourselves up, pollute the place again. Nature does it for us sometimes. We're going to do it this time and go back in the hole, go backwards, and then another 2,000 years, perhaps have another chance in that society again. And we've had 100, 200,000 years of that repeat. Huh? As we've gotten smarter, it actually can get worse. Definitely if you're a smart kid, if you don't know all the understandings, you've got all the bookworm, and you go out in the real world, you find out that all the knowledge doesn't really come to the sense of the real world. You've got the physical and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Challenges with jury selection, obviously, so that's an issue. So he's got some defenses. Everybody's entitled to a defense. I mean, you're in the United States of America, you're innocent until proven guilty, although they didn't get
Now, why am I doing that on that? Even that word there is fake. Here in Australia, we definitely don't have it. You know? Yeah? You know what? Because I've gotten statements done onto me, and then the coppers will rock up. You don't even go to court, nothing. No, the coppers can rock up and go, you're dangerous. No, it's already had. You didn't go to court, we gave you a letter. Who gives a fuck? It's all bullshit. What do I have to come into this? Isn't it with the law where they'll find out where they check up? No, we don't check up now. We just go, you can't be lying. Have you ever heard Bella say that? Oh, they can't be lying. They're all these dickheads. Of course they lie. They actually even say kids don't lie and shit. Fucking idiots. Right? And then next minute you get this piece of paper, because my mum said the same thing. It's like, how are they going to get it? Mum, you watch them. Right? Wait till you get an enemy to do that. You're too busy. They're going to get this. Here you go, Mum. You go, what the fuck? And then you better have money now. Right? What a way to get you to get more money. The devil does fucking well. And then you have money to go fight that. That's where I'm at. So it's a little bit like
when partners break up and they take all each other's money through parenting courts. Huh? Yeah, you know, nothing. I'm going to go to court and this waste all your money. Because they do that. It's sad, isn't it? Because the system itself's the devil. It's not a righteous one. A righteous one should be able to go there and speak, and what is true should cost you nothing. If you want to lie and deceive and fuck around, or you're not that well at what you do, you pay for someone else to help you out because you didn't learn that. But if you've learned something, you should be able to go in there and speak. You can't.
It's not
Because
the
you have
devil,
the devil speak on your behalf.
but it's got a good infiltration.
And when I try to show
And
the
every
truth,
country
these
has
days,
more of the
they go,
devil.
I don't even need to say that. What's the outcome? I'll just do this for you. But I want even a better outcome. But yeah, but we're going to give you scare tactics. That's what I could get. You're not going to. It's not going to work. You're going to need a lawyer. That's what they tell me.
Connection enough where
Scare tactics.
get
Just
rid
go
of
in
all
with our lawyer. Our judges favour us lawyers because we're friends. And they'll shit on you because you go, I don't need a lawyer. And then you go, no, I want my money. Right? That's how they work together. I already noticed that. Definitely, if it's a good case, something big. If it's something small and shit, they go, it's something big, right? Something they can do. They won't let you do it. They need their fucking face in there. And that's sad. That's what I'm telling them. We're about to spend money to get people to speak what I can't speak. Isn't that shocking? In their doctor writing lingo, as you might as well say. Right? Where they shorten it down, but you can't really shorten down a big story. But they want it to be. And because of all that, they're a failure. The system is a failure. Right? And after that piece of paper was handed to me, now those bad guys are protected. Right? This is a failure. This system's pretty bad.
The system's
it's not bad.
worried about
now
little
they're
things.
protected. So if they try to steal from you, you're going to be the bad guy. If you try to speak to them about what they do and how bad they are, you're going to be the bad guy. Holy fucking shit. In fact, I talked about child abuse. I can hear them abusing. I could go out there and I can see them. They should be doing all this. And if I go out there, go, what the fuck? And they go, you want to go to jail? That's what they're saying to me. That's what they're saying to me.
What kind of system would that
Fuck,
be?
I go, what are you doing? They go, do you want to go to jail, motherfucker? I'm protected. I could call the cops right now after raping a kid, I reckon, because abusing in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, I've talked about all that.
I'm protected. This is the new world here,
Because they only look at so little.
Fuck. That's why I'm at home.
There could all be other
You get
things and they wouldn't even see
If I
because they
come
only
out
look at
and just go,
the
hey,
little
look,
they get given.
you want to go to jail,
Which is
motherfucker?
sad.
Take me to jail. Oh, now I'm going to jail. Shit, I better go back to my cave.
Sounds pretty ridiculous, doesn't it?
I'm ashamed of growing up in a system that bullshitted me. And that power is money. And when you run out of money, the bullies bully you and show you the truth that should always be shown. But they don't until the money runs out. So they work for what? The devil. Because the devil likes the money.
And that concept's when it comes to like oil.
Let me know in comments and you won't.
They want to
Because
use
I've
the
already got
resource
the devil on my
before they
ass.
change anything. When they know
Like we talked about and people talk about fake accounts.
Bullshit.
They grab me the clips and copy everything. So when they rock up, they go, "Show your account." Probably not. Because they only got 10 clips on there. Do you want to see mine? Or you don't even want to see it. I'm already fucked. I've got to explain
Fake
to my mum
channels
and my
can be
mum's
made.
and people are getting worried. Now we've got to go put all this money. We're literally now going to do all
pretty
this.
much
I'm
gonna
going to sue after this.
They come with
because
clips
now
on
I'm going to spend,
is
I'm going
that
to
the same
sell
clip on
shit.
this channel?
And that to make sure I'm going to get a fucking good lawyer.
Tell them about that stuff.
Money's not going to matter. The truth's going to matter. I'm going to get a team to go through the truth and with a lawyer and to make it work the way they want.
Are they really
it's going to cost
looking?
me a fortune. And then after
You've got
that,
to show more.
that fortune's going to be charged to them because they love that system.
Interviews, but they got so many chefs.
And that's what you got to do when you're the truth. And you got to make sure you get a good fortune because sometimes they use fortune to fight you. Have you ever heard of people losing a lot of shit? That's the devil system. It likes to take a lot from all of us, doesn't it?
The operators.
And yet it could be
keep
free.
going, oh, you're
Should
in the
be
wrong
free.
department. Here we'll
Should be
pass
paid
the
by the
cost
government.
and
That dude sits there and there and over there.
keep
We pay
explaining
plenty of
yourself all the time.
Should be free.
It's
It's
quite
free.
annoying,
The government,
isn't it?
you're paying for that.
On the phone and doing that.
They should have all the fucking time in the world.
That's happening in a lot of areas now. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll put you
See you
through the
later.
right department next minute. Oh, you explain everything again. Oh, sorry, you're in the wrong department. Yeah, I'll put you through another department. Someone can help me. Oh, sorry, you're in. I've had that a few times on the phone. People. It's a joke, and it's just because areas just not quite been done right.
with issues. So anyway, let's just finish off today's clip. What I was talking about, like I did in part 1. And we'll end it with that, pretty much. Now, like I was talking about with fake channels and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, when they get their channel, so you got to talk more to them and go, so where you getting it from? What channel is that? Can I see that channel? Right? And stuff like that. If it ever gets really serious, you got to start stepping it up like that, don't you? You go, look, this is what I've got. Are you confirming it? Why are you only seeing that? We have to talk about this. When you talk about that, that's why I'm making these clips a bit bigger. Otherwise, why are you here? You must be bullying. Right? These people talk about you shouldn't clip, you should have the truth and all this, but then you're doing all the opposite. Right? I don't understand. Hopefully we don't have another malfunction. Stuff like that. But anyway, now let's go find this clip. So what you should see, I'll quickly show you something. These things like this, and the playlist and what's meant to be in it. Go through it and the numbers and all helps you. And I've documented it over so many different times. And I just do a couple of things like this and I'll bang these definitely certain clips to make sure that this is all known. Right? And if they don't know it, I can talk about it. Okay, well that's why I'm titling clips too. Definitely, if you think that someone might try to do something over you with it, you got to title it in certain ways so I can talk to other people about that and go, what do you think it's titled like that for? What do you think I'm trying to say? What do you think I'm trying to do? You think I'm a bully? You think I'm trying to get answers? You think I'm trying to speak my story? You think people are trying to come in on that? Who's really the bad guy? Is his crimes big? Is this person wasting time? What's this for? I'm not here to make money. I don't want to do this. These type of things, you see. So there's no motive there for me. I'll even prove that into the future. I'm not going to go run off looking for things and go walk around cop stations and video record them and stuff like that. That's those people, right? To see if you can get them to bite, right? When you hate police officers, it's what you do. You just keep hanging around them. They should know what it feels like. Keep it annoying them until they bite. And then go put up that clip. I'm not that. But anyway, that's how I got all this. And you should expect these type of accounts, as I talked about. This will show most of them. What I'm subscribed to up here. There's a couple other little accounts, not too big, but they're used for information spreading and stuff, and pretty much duplicates of a lot of other stuff, so not missing out on anything. These are the main accounts. Emma's got an account, that's Emma's account. The rest are my ones. I've made up for civic purposes and to make more space and to find things easier and to spread it out. As they say, you don't have all your eggs in one basket. I've had my channel shut down. So I've learnt a bit more so I don't cop it as bad as I did last time. Right? With not at all, if you can get to that spot. But what I do is a big thing and it is spread out. I can always bring it back and take a bit more time, and I'm trying to make it so if it ever has to come back, it wouldn't be so hard. And if they go to shut it down, and make it harder for them as well, and all that kind of stuff. That's what we're meant to do, is we learn. And then it's the same when you go to show what's on yours and what they've got. That's why I like to have some privates as well, because then they'll have to hack to get the privates. Which I guess everything's doable, right? But you just don't make it easy until hopefully you make it hard enough for like the lion and a prey where it can go pick on a different prey, or perhaps if it doesn't stop, perhaps you win the battle, right? If it needs to be, because occasionally a gazelle gets a lucky kick and kills a lion, right? And so other animals do other things. Right? And you think you got no chance, or you bet on things, but it's not always like that. And I have other things because of other issues. And I had to show other people things, and so I have other channels because of those issues. They go back many years, and it's got to do with lots of people. Some like to pick on more than others. Should be back in a second. This one here's got a lot of other things. So I'll come back. Let's just put on. Because I've got to grab the phone. I've got one here. They will come after you and all that. For the strong righteous. The other righteous are just people who play scripts. If you play a script, play the game, not be really real, do it for a job kind of thing. You won't get these problems.
For business.
As it technically still work for this bad entity, the thing I talk about, the Bible talks about. So you don't really get these problems. But if you're going to be serious all your life and you're going to be literally changed and all this kind of stuff, you may get these stories of the Bible, right? As far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people who are really into spirituality would say they're the more real cases. The rest of the people are up and downs and maybe a little bit like before I got really serious into it. Huh? Which is really practice and study what you preach for real and be serious about it. Do you get an answer? If you all did this, we'll all get answers, as I'm talking about right now, that can help us look back on the Bible, on how they say it worked, and then it works, or it doesn't. You know what I mean? You find out it's all a complete lie, and it made slave drivers and all that kind of stuff. It just helps the wolves. Right? And that's what I wanted to find out. And so, with a little $500 loan, what would you do best wise with your money? Now, you know you need better cameras to do things. You got a big list. But what's the most priority thing when it comes to a list? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's your safety and health. Isn't it, people? Right, so if you got anything that on that list that's important when it comes to your safety and health. And what should be on that list? We could say housing. Right? Now, why don't we have certain things in those areas? Now, I've been talking about housing in certain areas, but some might be still in private, some not. Some I'm still trying to sort out. Being as nice as possible, but also you've got to get things done eventually, isn't it? After so many issues and steps, and if things definitely continue. When things stop, sometimes if you haven't got time and that, you can heal and get through it and forget about it. But if things keep continuing, the longer they continue, the more likely you need to talk about it and sort it out. Otherwise, it will continue. So this is just a couple of clips too. I'll talk about different channels and spreading out information and about a little bit of the story of what I've been going through when it comes to complaints and stuff like that. I've had a lot of complaints with the neighbours around me for many years now. In certain areas, different neighbours, we got a lot of flats around here. And over the road, I call them Neighbour Road as well. And previous ones, they've been moving over the years in and out. And right up to animal complaints and all different neighbours on similar things. Like I said, noise, animals, when I've had too many, and false issues, attacks because of issues they have, pretty much. And so this is just a couple of videos of that kind of thing. I don't mention any full names or anything like that when it comes to these things here. But I got some of these videos. As you can see there, you might have to pause it. That thing's up too long. I don't want to show things too clear. If you pause it there, I've got some videos of certain claims that were sent to court through housing, right? About certain things, but the claims end up being false when it comes to the house. Now, when it comes to the front unit and some units around me, they've had a lot of tenants over time since I've been here. And so you'll see pictures of me talking about certain things, but it doesn't mean I'm talking about the ones that could be there now, as my issues go back with certain tenants definitely when it comes to housing and stuff like that I've talked about when it comes to housing. And so, sorry about that. Clicking on things, they're pretty sensitive these days. I just wanted to quickly show one, but cover up one of them when it comes to things sent to court. See, that one there, that was sent to court from the people that live in. As you can see, it's not my house. And, I'm claimed before that I had to deal with before the issues about the recent last couple of years. This goes back 3 or more. In some cases, way back. It goes back a long time on some of these issues. But I'm getting new ones now, like the other old lady from Rocks and other claims and things happening. But all we can do is talk about what's going on. Well, definitely me, and if you're by yourself until we get answers and truck along with what we do, doing with others, which don't be on ourselves, to try to help each other and to get these right answers sorted out. With hopefully not many attacks constantly. At least if they want to approach things, there's many ways to approach things to get things sorted instead of aggressively. They've pretty much been teaching us that aggressive is meant to pretty much take us back, get us nowhere. But sadly, these days, aggressive is winning a lot. Believing they can do that. Definitely a straight away kind of thing. It's just crazy. Aggressive is meant to be the last thing you should try when you go to deal with certain situations. You should have a couple of stories of trying to deal with it peacefully and righteously, then just have one story, right, and then full on aggressive, right, or just full on aggressive, right, or lightly aggressive and get worse, or two stories of lightly aggressive or not understanding, then aggressive. You got to make sure you do things right. Otherwise, when it comes to the righteous laws, obviously you're not in a righteous country, but we're all meant to be. But then these laws are changing that because of that outcome we were getting, which is sad, isn't it? You have to slide it in the program. Anyway, I'm just going to go back to where I was up to. The other one stopped. On this phone here, huh? And I know it's quite annoying that when things get so busy, you can't do things properly, can you? That's why sometimes it's best to just leave things alone, shut down, make things simpler, and then start from the worst and work your way down. All those type of sectors. As you see, when it gets really bad, they start letting out little light criminals and stuff like that. It's a similar thing to that. You can do certain shutdowns, don't worry, you get stuff. You got to catch up. Just catch up, mate. Bear with me for a sec. Use the other phone. Let's go back to where I was up to. I was thinking, if I just put it in, I clicked on a lot of crap on this file, so I'll just scan through it. Sure, this is where it should be up to. Should be back to stop it before it gets to the last little bit. So it's still like the last 20 minutes or so. Yeah. I can do another 40 minutes, 30 minutes. I reckon 30 minutes. See what I can do. Before I put up some clips, there could be a copyright. Because these two I put up and some private is myself. Didn't get a copyright, it's just the TV in the background. You can have news, changing from one news to another kind of thing. So there shouldn't be anything there, it didn't show anything. I want to talk about me just showing. Unless they want to be a mega annoying.
Try to get the positive. Talk about what they like to do. But what would they do if people found out that they're doing things to people?
You know what tricks are really good for?
They wanted to do
To get back. See, tricksters and people doing tricks on each other.
Definitely people who like to
good people.
This is definitely a trick for them.
And also for bad people. Bad people just like to use it most for their own benefits.
So they can get outcomes.
And good people who trick to get the bad people back. So you got to trick to get them back, you know. Definitely if they're already tricking.
And what they can do is like with Shalada, because I've been posting up and I remove something.
Yeah, Shalada, hopefully she comes back. If not,
a natural outcome that can happen.
It is what it is, and usually in the pattern at the moment, I get a story and then
she's lost a baby.
Well, there's something happens, isn't it?
She's got her house taken off her. Now, when that happens to people, naturally, they can get upset. Definitely, if they find out that happened unrighteously and they can't understand, which Shalada can't really understand my English or my steps. She's not understanding the things that are happening around us. And other things that are occurring. She didn't know what's coming next, so she can only assume. She can assume with a little Shalada brain, right? But let's get back to Kabbalah. And so, and like I said, for them to work, they need to weaken things. The more they weaken things and get it down low energy, their power can work. Right? So they make outcomes where that happens. Right? And then they can infiltrate the energy, the being, turn you into a zombie in some sort of way. This history has talked about these kind of things. And then I'll manipulate it better to get it to fly away, to land, to do something, to come to them. Things like that. Huh? People do these really main tricks in all sorts of ways, attacking people. Huh? And so what they'll do positively is say they'll spell work and you can do that energy. They'll tell someone, if they didn't want to do it themselves, they can tell someone else, because I know these type of people like to get other people to do shit, because if it goes down, they'll obviously use blackmail or some other trick where they get the blame and it won't go back to them. Huh? And so if you've got that kind of problem, you'll also have these people so you got the videos, and they're attacking me trying to say that I'm bad with animals. So go with that. This helps me get my conclusion too. And they want more of that outcome, and then they can get someone who can connect with animals to say you trick good people.
Now, why did I cover something just then? I forgot to tell you. Just come back to me. I covered something too, because we have a lot of faces out there that are similar, right? And a lot of people that, if they can get something that looks like something, like someone getting a similar ID, they will use it, won't they? And so sometimes it's best, if you can, to not make it so easy to show things because something looks similar. So I've set one for an example to see if what I'm talking about is true, right? In these circumstances, which we'll get an answer for that, about what they try to use to say what they believe it is, right? When it comes to the court of law, and we've got movies about it, right? And that's the righteous way. You got to be 100% certain on things before you can really complain when it comes to the law legitly, or definitely when it's meant to be serious, right? Other than that, you got to make sure it's all good. So when I've got the paperwork, when it says that you can't do things, you can't speak about them electronically, and you can't video them, right, and post that up electronically, or show other people, or get them to do it, that means that it can't be clear, right? So you can't tell the full name within that, as I've talked about before, and you can't show clearly who they are, right? And that to be obvious. But there's certain photos and certain things you put up that can look like something, but then if it's not clear enough, it's only them to assume it is, right? And the people to make their own assumptions, right? But if you make it so it's clear enough and full on what they are, and you're telling their name, and you're giving every single detail and the timing and all that, then that's talking about them, right? So you got to clarify that area, how that goes. But when you're just being righteous, like I said, when it comes to righteousness, right, that's the rules you need to know when you shouldn't be doing certain things. But when it comes to righteousness, you can do those things no matter what, as long as you know it's true and it needs to be told. And that's what the news does when they put out things and the police ask them for certain things and show faces because they assume that it's the right thing to do and that person is a suspect, even though you've been proven innocent until you're guilty. Similar things. Anyway, I try to get that out shortly, in a short perspective. Let's just continue with this, and I'll see you soon.
Say treat good people.
I'm really
If they do
finished
that too much,
and
they
done
get
with
into
this kind
trouble.
of stuff today.
They don't fix things or do too much of it.
A couple of hours
Go
over, really,
off what they're meant to be.
as you
They'll
can
turn
see,
into something
because
else.
of
As you see in Star Wars,
delays.
they're good about it. And they can be tricked
About
into
copyrights.
that in Star Wars. And what happens is that they say, oh, he's treating them bad within their group or to a good person to get a good person to do their work, so that way they can get a good person onto their side. So it's a good thing and get an outcome. So they'll mostly go for that, right? And they'll, of course, have to hide things and trick things, as the story goes in my case. And then they'll get someone to steal your kid, to manipulate your kid, to mind control, get them to get them a thought while they're down, because then they can put in the thought. You get it? And go, oh, you should leave. They don't love you here. Rah, rah, rah. You know, have you had movies where demons infiltrate you that way? Energy. Humans know the same thing. And whatever happens to humans can happen definitely to animals, because we'll be harder to infiltrate than anything lower down in when it comes to brain functions. Right? More likely, they're more into automatic rely. You are, as we've talked about in history. Right? Of what you've got instinct and what you're used to and all that kind of stuff. And so that's what they do. And Smeller talks about a little bit like about getting you down to their level kind of thing, to where they want you to be so they can do other things. And it's in all sectors too. And so in this story, they can get a person to do something, right, to get Shalada to fly up because they believe that I'm mistreating or get Shalada to believe that I'm mistreating, so she flies away. It's in all sorts of areas. You can go as deep as you want when it comes to energy and imagination, but only studying research can get this and getting answers from as much as areas that you can around you when it comes to that or what you know. That's why things happen. That's why we had those witch hunts and stuff like that, because if you can't get the answers, right, everyone will be picked on. So if you know bad countries got it like what that just happened in Gaza, huh? Through a repeat. So when it comes to magic, I believe if magic's ever around, they should do good. So far, magic's failed in our written down history because it's always got bad. It always went bad. It went to the bad apple. It got infiltrated by the bad apple, right? Which is what I talked about. You got to try to fight these things when you get power, not to abuse it. And they always abuse their power. Go, I'm man on this. Now I'm God, right? And it's not true. We're always still equal here. Right? Some can be treated better than others, like we do as friends, as we pick and choose people, right? But we should all be treated equal, right? And if someone else can do what you can do, you got to treat them the same. And that's what education is, right? So we all try to thrive and get certain education, learn certain things, because we believe we like the attention from those certain groups that like those certain things. Right? But at the moment, everyone's teaching everyone to rip off everyone so you can go for a beach walk, right? What's that teaching? And then be a smart ass and all these type of shit, which is sad. And the devil's winning in that sector with its tools. So you can use these tools, as Jehovah's Witnesses say, this devil's. Well, everything can go both ways. But at the moment, they're right about the internet and a lot of things shown on TV. It's not TV itself. It's not the gun. It's how it's used, right? But the devil tries to manipulate when it becomes its threat, right? It'll always try to get rid of its threat. So if the devil wants Australia, it'll disarm it, right? Because it's worried that it's going to become a threat. And if it arms it, it's not worried about that country because it's just like that. You see? I'm going to let this continue. And when it comes to loving things, like I said, if it's natural, if it's unnatural, you can't help that. There's infiltrators, we're a collective. If it's natural, hopefully she'll learn that she'll get hungry or something like that. She'll go out like a cat does, or a lot of people do, go out and realise, look, there's not much food out there. I've just checked it out. I knew it was another area. I've checked it out. And she'll come back
I'd definitely be a loving person. But if you're not, they definitely wouldn't come back, would they? And if there's other tricks where people have stolen it, using energy to do it, because you can get told to do this soon, right? To move things around like a tractor beam kind of thing. It's all science. It's possible, and so most things when they get created, definitely if it's a tool where you can control and use, like a weapon, as they say, usually it's created and you don't find out about it for a while. Because they like to use it as a weapon, which is sad. We'll leave that there and continue to play. So hopefully we have Shia come back. Who knows? And if it's any of them, all you can do is speak to the things that may be doing it. That's why I keep doing videos and stuff. That's all we got besides the last thing. Either do it what it wants or give up. That's why I thought if you get attacked in certain areas, there's other changes you can do to stop those attacks happening so much. So if it's killing things you love, talk about it, trying to love things so much, trying to get attached. There's lots to love out there, right? And there is lots of love out there. So when I go to my new way, I'll be like, good luck killing everything I see. Because I won't get attached or be on one thing too long, or unless it's a quick study and everything will be recorded. Hopefully it's a natural one, because if it's not, we'll still catch unnatural outcomes. Right? All you can do is just keep trucking. It'll go, you're a sucker, all this kind of shit, but all you can do is just keep trucking and hope that you find someone that's like you. I'm just going to finish this off now. It's got 10 minutes or so. So I'll be hoping after these things are sorted out, that they're sorted out in a peaceful manner, and that we can talk about it or we can forget about it, as it'll be sorted in a peaceful manner, as the matters are very small and should have been sorted out in a peaceful manner. So when matters should have been sorted out in a peaceful manner in the first place, then you still hope in the end, before it gets too way out of control, that it can be sorted out in a peaceful manner. But then some circumstances, it gets out of control, and then it has to be sorted out in a fair judgment manner, right? That can be into a peaceful manner with the judgment, right, of certain outcomes, of certain injuries or damages or future threats, stuff like that. If it's proven that they're going to continue for no reason, right? There was no reason for things. So let's continue. Should be just about done now. Finish this off now. It's got 10 minutes or so. Yeah, there you go. It's got my own confirmation. And anything I've said in here? It's good. I get that a bit every now and then. Words. I've said no names. I've talked about certain things that I believe. It could also practicing the field I'm in. Until we know better. And I still do what I do, right? And my best of abilities, and as I can do, knowing that if there's no help, I'm still doing other parts where other people help. See if I can get help, but you can never rely on that. As I've talked about in stories about what happens when we rely on. I've even got stories already there on video in the last few years of the outcomes of that and how you can be delayed and all that kind of stuff. So you best to always keep trucking the best of your ability for what you believe you need to do. If there's no help and nothing's going to happen and things are going to continue, but it's already previously happened, unless you do something, right, and don't rely on others. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully others will help. Things will happen if it happens, if they try to do things. Depends on your circumstances, isn't it? We'll just talk about later on. You never expect it. What's that conclusion? Otherwise, in some cases, I've learned now the best way to definitely when you're an adult to solve a problem when you're disarmed, you just want to find them. The best way is either get them to leave you alone, see that point, like a lion does. If the threat's too big, you go for a better threat, a better prey. Sorry, or show them that it's not going to be easy. Right, join them. Most of my life, I've gotten used to doing things alone. Keep studying until they get you. I've also had help too, but from a lot of different people and these certain outcomes circumstances from that help. Of what you just got to keep on doing. Didn't turn out well. Certain things happen, and usually if you pick a side, you keep being bad. You keep being bad, like the Bible will say. Certain areas, definitely if you're in it too long, that's all what you know. Some cases like that happen. Religion people get stuck in it. Our problems getting out of certain things is they've gotten a habit, and they've got a lot of people that support those habits as well. So hopefully if they watch part 1,
Let's keep on track.
they will be watching this
People
part
got
2.
something to say. Well, they can always
Otherwise
say
he
it.
still falls.
You best not to talk to people.
I forgot to
till
write
you
part
know
1 on
you know,
since later.
you've fixed all problems. All problems have been sorted out. And you can best to truck along. When you're still attacking people and trying to communicate that way, or try not to talk about the past and you want to move on. As I've had family come in all the time, people do that, come on, friends. They wait ages and they come back and then they hope you forget. Definitely when it comes to money, right? And then if you mention it, all of a sudden they can fuck off again.
Most things
Or they
out there
might
aren't
pay
really
it.
a big
Otherwise,
deal.
try to remember that they pay it.
They're more
Or,
upsetting moments.
they'll continue to ask for more.
Ego
just in that
moments so
field.
people can
There's
move
even
on.
some fields where they owe me money and they come back and they say nothing. And then they get asked for
The
money. You go,
physical
no. And then
damages
the money
are a bit
situation
harder,
comes up and then they just take off. They find out that you
and the
can't get no
mental
money,
damages.
right? And they feel bad again because they still owe, right? And sometimes it's forgiven. If you forgive them, they always stay usually. But then they always keep begging for more money because they got forgiven. Right? These are just some of the things that I've learned. That you learn through life, isn't it? Definitely when you're nice. When you learn, if you want to give out something, give it out. It's like gambling. You want to keep helping in certain ways, do it, but don't go too far where it just puts you out. There's no use doing that. And I got to a point where I was lending out tools and shit like that, and other people cracked the shits because I punished everybody. But that's just the way it goes because it's an outcome. If anyone's upset, they should go have a go at the people that made that person change, and they don't, which is sad, right?
That rule that I made up too, other people, I couldn't borrow things because of that rule. They had that rule, right? That they've been done over, or they just don't want to lend out. Right? So I know how it
You go
feels.
see the people who fuck these tools and rip them off with these tools.
Some
and
cases,
shit.
some people just do
Instead
it because
going,
of
oh, now
what
you're
I'm
just
speaking
being
about
nasty.
now.
No, well, I'm being smart. I'm being smart, but now you're trying to use my heart against me for you.
But if you know they're
I've heard
righteous
that's
and
what
good
they
people,
say.
that's a different story.
Right? Imagine feeling like
But most cases,
You
you
get
don't
to that
really
point.
know. Right?
at first, some
Well, they
people don't even
haven't
give out shit at all because they
proven
go, I already know
anything,
this
and
could
now they
happen.
can't because of
It's
these
just prejudges.
situations.
I don't prejudge, right? But a lot of people do. Right? In some areas, it's good to do that. In some areas, it's not. It's good to not judge people.
You can do a small prejudgment,
For
but
me,
never a big
I just
one.
want to do a certain step.
So
And
that's
what
what
I
I
did
said.
too, instead of saying no, is I offered to come and help because I don't mind helping. But I had to wait. And I said certain days, and I'll come and do it for you. But they didn't like that. Which was strange. And okay,
I've
so
had
I said
people
recently,
didn't
I've been
like
helping people and they're attacking me.
Some
So
do,
what's
some
the
don't.
outcome? Just to get your tools and abuse it and go make money off it. I don't know. Some people do that. They borrow a mower and do a lawnmower business with it, and you get it back a week later. And it's half fucked because it's done 300 miles. Right? It can happen. People do this shit on a shit, and that's getting promoted more and more these days.
I've borrowed a mower,
And
mower, right, off someone, and gone and mowed a couple of places. Huh? Well, I've got the mower.
Chuck that out.
Right? But I was respected with it, but some people
Relate
aren't.
to something's
Some people
flip.
can just wreck your mower one go.
You're only one.
As
Say so.
I've had stories from others.
And I'll see ya.
It's usually, sometimes, typically, if someone's borrowing it, it could be on drugs, or they're not good with money, or they're not good with things. And I've had people lend out mower, right? It's a story that someone's told me. And pretty much a new one, right? Lend it to someone that's got a little bit of land, say about 8 times as much as my backyard, a good size block, right? That a house would have. And a lot of it's died off though. They have dogs and things running around and stuff like that, sticks and twigs and car bits of junk and metal and shit like that, right? You can imagine people that are usually down and out and going through things or on drugs and stuff like that. So you can imagine these messy yards with grass growing through things and stuff like that. And then they get your mower, and then they just mow through it all. Oh, what's that? Oh, there's the old chain thing. Oh, now it's jammed in the wire. Oh, did it need oil? I don't want to check it later. Dust everywhere. My filter's filling up. Overheat. And literally wreck a mower within a couple of hours. Crazy, eh? $700-800 mower. Huh? So you got to be careful. And then those type of people go, sorry, I'll fix it. And then you probably never see them again. Or they'll always give you an excuse. Or they'll go, okay, you'd be able to fix it, you got money. And they'll use all sorts of things to try to make you feel bad or get out. It was an accident. This and that. That couldn't have been. Some cases, yeah.
Well, we studied too.
A lot of cases,
you
you know.
study could be wrong, right? But all you can do is follow.
And like I said in the study, the wrong things won't pop up so much, and you'll figure out something else.
And then even the worst thing, they don't even clean it, and they give it back to you all dusty and fucked. That's what got it all started with the person talking. It was dirty, and then when they looked at it and went through it and started up, they got more and more worse outcomes.
There's lies in that.
I guess if you did all that, I guess they probably wouldn't clean it.
They might be manipulated, might not be them and stuff like that.
Usually,
So
you'd
these
use it
studies will take
righteously,
longer, or may never
fill it back up
succeed.
with fuel if it
You're
had
not
stuff,
getting the truth from
or
the
fill
study.
it because you're borrowing.
So when it comes to machinery, it's easy to do a study of
Make sure
machinery.
the oil was good
what it is,
before you
what
use it, and
flows,
after.
stuff like that. Which is
Clean it and give it back. Maybe you haven't hit nothing with it. Wouldn't notice no difference. Huh?
But when it comes to things that give you false
Or you
readings,
have the
like
other
they're
way.
doing now
Oh,
with the
clean the filter.
collider, right?
But you do.
It's tripping
Make
them
sure
out,
it
isn't
doesn't
it?
get
They've
too
probably
dirty.
got somewhere where they go, huh? And that's a little bit like a human brain. You could actually even be tapping into something similar to that. By energies and shit. Let's keep on playing.
And if you're mowing grass as well, which is what kills a lot of these mowers, make sure that you're not mowing too long, definitely on a hot day, so you don't seize the engine, because that happens a lot too. Just little things, but they don't. They just want to get it done. They don't think of themselves. They don't think of the consequences. Definitely, if they use excuses all the time, and these type of people would repeat those things for a long time. Some of them do. Some don't stop. They just move on to others. Huh? I won't be back in a second. That's beautiful. I missed that spot. And what collective people would say, no one likes a hypocrite, do they? And guess where hypocrites hang out mostly? They're single kind of people, very small groups. Because no one really likes a hypocrite. Because what do? Right? They backfire on them. They only work for themselves, kind of thing. Can't be trusted. They say one thing, but they do another. It's bad as having a thief around. You know they thief off anything. Right? It's better thieves. Some thieves have rules, they're not as bad. No, it's just thieves, right? They're the worst of all time. Imagine having a hypocrite thief. Shit! And so on. The thief usually would be hypocrite because they're tricksters. If they're a trickster, they'll be a big hypocrite, wouldn't they? It's a little pattern that you find within certain areas. If they're willing to change, this is what I talk about all the time, you can always just stop. Then they could have been a hypocrite, but they can't continue to be a hypocrite. You always, when it comes to wanting the truth up to the now, you get the now from that. Right? What actions and why they're doing certain actions. Sometimes being a hypocrite can be righteous, but then not in a certain way, like in that show Bulletproof, where a cop is undercover, and then he gets to go, wants to go to Disneyland, right? And he ends up being like a hypocrite. But that's his job, not to do such things. But then, when it comes to the feelings, he's a hypocrite onto his feelings in that show. Right? So he's really righteous, but he's also wrong. It's a little example.
You can get that. Should be finishing any minute now. All I hope, and the things I do, is that we get righteous, easy outcomes. That I've been trying to do, but people don't want that. Well, you're not going to get one, are you? People just want you gone and all these things. You're never going to get these easy, righteous outcomes. They're going to make it as hard and difficult as long as possible, which is sad. Now, with these footages, if you actually watch them, which are there, I turn around the backyard to pretty much come back in. And so hard it goes through that halfway point of the window. You come out high on that. I'm just going to get on Starbright and then come from Starbright, which is odd because the door's always open. They've always gone wrong. Like I said, it's a security, there's all sorts of reasons. But she's definitely knew what she was doing. It was sharp, so it hit the window. You know, they already spotted ages ago what windows were and checked it out when they were shut. And flew past it when it's been open. Right, a lot. I like to fly around circles and stuff. Never flew directly out. She flew straight out. Wasn't sideway angle or anything. She's alright because you have domestic, not in the right area. She can get quite lost and she only really knows that spot out the window, so hopefully she's got enough range. She could, some do, some don't. It's like a human, depends on the education, really, isn't it? If you got educated enough, that you do is come back. Well, she doesn't want to, she won't. So now it comes from. Time will tell when it comes to that story. Freedom. I'm going to move on. I'm already ready for that. Worst outcomes, you just think of it, that's it, it'll be it. And you just go, oh, hopefully it's not. Maybe she'll turn up 2 days, maybe next week, maybe later. It'd be hard to identify. I think I've got a lot of videos by attitude and how she looks. In the animal sector, there's a lot of duplicates. They look pretty similar. And I'll talk about the negatives and positives about the outcome a bit later. We're already talking about some of the things already. You don't want to talk too much because we've still got to wait time, things are still early. I'll talk a bit later, more likely after a week or so. After those times, like investigator, after 48 hours, something more likely we're not going to solve this and that. Or the first week or 24 hours, it gets harder and more things to deal with. But I do know that if they went in a room, they can get lost very easy for little babies. So there's certain steps that I prefer them to take than to just go straight out to freedom. What it is, isn't it? Most people say you should have never had your door open. It's bound to happen. But I did have it shut for a while, right? So I knew that they knew what was going on, knew the place, knew what windows were and all that. And then where I had the door open a little bit. So I do want trust and love and things, and I'm trying to connect and talking to God and testing things, right? But then as soon as I talked about recently, this is a bit strange about them not flying out and stuff like that. It wasn't long after that it happened.
example, schools for cosmetology or
It is what it is, huh?
any career path that does not require a traditional college degree. Instead of just choose a they will qualify for a so-called school course program.
And that kind of pattern is happening in a lot of different areas. You speak about something and something happens, usually in the opposite of what I'm trying to speak about. It's similar. That's why I did a clip after she left, and I'm like, well, the guy wanted that to happen, or if he had any influence, I wanted him to know something. He probably already would, see? Or I wanted the devil, or just the universe, huh? Speak it, just document it. And how long it took for that to happen? It's the first time of all the birds since I've had them. I think it's about finished. Can't remember now. I've gotten so much today. If I said anything, when I go to say it, I'll remember then. I go, it's a busy day. A lot of names and faces. The registered person, you see all of them. Get to a point where I heard. And then you just think a little reminder. I do speak. Get back. Alright, in a couple of minutes. I'm going to say a couple of minutes. Oh, I'm going to be back in a minute. Near the end. Well, wait, still be back then. Sorry. Oh, 10. 9 minutes.
truck that weighs 10,000 pounds in this country. Detention will be limited primarily to highways, including city streets. While it is allowed to athletes like Waymo and accident fire content truck companies to test software. Some trucks at the Teamsters Union opposed the moves, raising concerns over safety and potential loss of jobs. A bill that would have required truck drivers to stop running semi-trucks was vetoed by the governor in 2018. France is looking to crack down on Chinese e-commerce giants like Shein. China always impose a massive influx of low-cost domestic products and
Things are getting fucked around now. Show more files. Donald Trump. To the envelopes, so I'm going to say that. It's appropriate for good and bad. When they're in town, you get this sound. You're not just
just saying it is what it is. That's one. Now when it does that, that's just me. Cameras are took.
Yeah, nice. Hi. Sweet.
Basically too much on this at the moment. Just post it out. And that's just part of it, you know. I don't want to deal with it. That's clothes. And then it has a passport. We'll go with the miracle. That's weird, it's got this bowl. And it's got this back on there.
And all I like, and most people would like, when it comes to most people, is to admit when you know you're wrong. You're getting told, you're getting caught, you know you're wrong. That's when the parents usually go, just admit it, that's when you should, shouldn't you? Because to deny it, all you can do is you got to run off, don't you? That's why these people run off all the time. Because they just won't admit it and then stop. And it's sad, isn't it? Because you should have already learnt. You've been caught, and you're definitely going to have to learn now, right? And make a decision of bad choices you might be doing, right? Definitely if it's in the bad area of the unrighteous, hurting people, doing things that you know is wrong, right? We should all know what we believe what is wrong.
When Trump's in town.
Time you leave high school, right? What countries are we from now? What's all these speeches for? Are they really facades? Are they like me? Why are we getting all these issues? Why are they continuing? Could be just in my bubble. Could be just a few hold me back, huh? Things like that could be true, but they are spreading, isn't it? And it makes it hard for some of us to see how bad it is when the bad's all around us, isn't it? In some cases. Like poor North Koreans and stuff like that, and their outcomes. Anyway, I'm going to finish it up there. Don't worry about all those clips. I'll talk about the end of that. I'll find out. I actually put it up in little bits. Right? And then I'll find out on the bits of the clips which clip it was that copyrighted. But yeah, we just got to get answers. And we don't need to get confused and stuff like that. We only get confused because of the outcomes, like I talk about. People not admitting. Sometimes people have enough evidence where they should admit, right? And go all the way, and they don't even do that. Right? So if they can't even do the halfway point, right, where people go, come on, you should admit, then they're heading towards the full one, aren't they? Where they'll just turn into that. What I was just talking about. Well, the things have to run off. Won't be trusted. Most time when you learn, we do things because we feel that we got betrayed, and we've got to figure out how we can get through that betrayal, that feeling of the betrayal. Like sometimes when someone hits someone, right, you believe you want to hit them back, and you hit them back, and then we get told that now we're in the wrong because you hit them back, right? But it's really not wrong. It's righteous. They're righteous in equal balance, right? It's not definitely if the punch is right, but you don't need to do it to be more righteous, which is what they tell us is bad. But then you look around the world and go, But where does these rules fully fit in, and who enforces it to make sure that it keeps getting promoted instead of just pushed to the side and who cares? Huh? Which is what we're seeing a lot these days. That people who are trying to do the right thing, it doesn't really matter. They just go, oh, it's this one thing and all these things, and you get judged in the last little minute, even though that what they're getting judged for, they're probably trying to do the right thing. And if you can't talk about the past, how would you even know that? Huh? And you get stuck. It's just not good for society, I tell you. As you can see, I've talked about housings and certain issues. And then we've had more issues as I've started these stories since I wanted to start my new fresh life and had the most highest positive righteous way as I can to the best of my ability. And I've also talked about and healed through people around me of old issues and fixed things that I needed to fix. Definitely the ones that were already spoken about. Right? And if you believe you need to speak more things to help other people heal, then you should do that too. But if they know that you got something to say and you haven't, well then perhaps you should go speak to certain people. But that's about it. I think I'm done scrolling and trying to get my point out of what I'm doing. There's no particular attack on one area. It's never about that. And it's never about trying to hurt people. It's about trying to fix things and then doing it in a fair, balanced way of what we believe is fair of what we go through. And definitely if they know what it's been through, if you've both been through the same thing, you can easily prove that you've done that to each other, then you can easily heal it easier than trying to have someone say, yeah, I understand you are, but they don't. Right? And then believe that what they've done is good enough, but they don't understand and you haven't healed and stuff like that. Yeah, that can happen in those cases. That's why it's best to, the best ones that heal or can heal with are people who's got another perspective besides just two people have an argument. You have to bring in a third party, which is what they do with shrinks and other things, who can help out, and hopefully ones that's actually been through it give the best advice. Doesn't mean you've been through it, doesn't mean you've got the best advice and only advice. There's a few of them as well. So I guess sometimes the more you've been through it in different areas as well, the more best you get best advice at that. And usually people who go through those areas become the best professionals to help out. Like someone who's been raped, he's the best person to talk about rape issues. Be one of them. You can have several different types, but they're the best to talk about it you can in those areas first before the ones that are not. And a rapist needs that job, right? You could have it the other way around. It's better, usually, in that case. Not always. You still have the other ones that can be better because they're more educated, been on it more. Doesn't mean you've been through it, you are the best, because otherwise you can use that excuse of parenting. I've had parents go, oh, you don't know what I'm talking about because you haven't had kids. And if you ever seen the show Super Nanny, the parents used to do that to them all the time, even the kids to the nanny, saying, you don't really know and you can't parent well because you haven't even had kids, right? But yet she was the best at parenting and had kids. She had plenty of experience with kids. You don't need to have kids to know about kids. Even a bit of book work could give you the upper hand, is what people do before they even have a kid, is to try to get a quick refresh of what's the best way to approach things that you haven't done before. Right, we should study. But anyway, a bit of a blood there at the end. Chucking about kids, but I've had that one a lot. People judge you and think that you don't know nothing about kids, or you might hate kids, or you're a pedophile just because you haven't had kids. Right? Shocking, isn't it? Anyway, prejudging is not a good thing to do. So I'm going to leave it there. Have a good one out there, everybody. And hopefully things go to the more righteous area where people are willing to fix and redeem themselves no more than attack and hide and deceive, be hypocrites about certain areas. Anyway, some people do. They go all the way. It all depends on how they feel. Like I said, trying to convince an North Korean to stop being a North Korean. Some people just need to be shown, right? And sometimes the more nice you are to them, the more they just keep going. And I may just be doing a nice step soon, right? And making something wait. I'm still deciding on that. Might have something up just for a little while. And then give it one last little moment of, will they do anything? Will they do the right thing? Because then other than that, I'm just about to hit the point where I'm just going to go all out. I don't care. I've pretty much already told these people that. I'm already there, right? But I am about to see some people. And so I thought, I'm going to get the last bit of advice, see some people that I've seen before and all that. And if nothing happens in either way of getting good advice and good news, stuff like that, I'm just going to step it all up at once. And make more Mr. Nice Guys, they say, and go bring it on. But sometimes there's no use always doing that, is it? Huh? So we'll see. Maybe I'm bluffing. Maybe I might just leave things up. Maybe I don't. Maybe things should be there. But whatever you do, if you've got people that are watching and listening, is that you got to keep them thinking and that. Certain things. And what's their motive? Yeah, I've told that to the police in certain areas on what we should do. But like I said, there's a lot of chefs in that area, so police say one thing and know one thing and agree with one thing, but then have a whole bunch of other police officers in the same, even in the same department, think a whole bunch of other things, which is sad. They should be more connected. We hear that they meant to be more connected, but that's only if they want to be. They need to be more actually known. Like if they're going to a place, they need to show what's come up. And hopefully get the records right, because if the records are wrong, that'll all backfire and that'll just make the situation worse, because they'll be looking at old records and then judging people. So some things can be good or bad if it's not done right. We'll see in the future. I've talked about how we can fix these areas, and hopefully the governments will promote and fix these areas. And a lot of them's just the way they do things needs to be changed and tweaked a little bit, and then the tools to back up those changes. So have a good one. See you later.